What's good, everybody? It's your boy Natsuuchiya, and today we got a Boruto episode 20 review, and we're finally getting into the Naruto Gaiden arc. So you know it's gonna be lit, so let's get it. So the episode starts off basically with the previous attack, well, the attack that they kind of ended last episode with Sasuke basically clashing, swords with who we thought was Shin Uchiha, like probably the adult version. Some people thought was like the adult version of Shin, but it's actually the kid version. Because I can't remember, but in the manga, I don't know if it was the adult version or the kid version at first. I think it might have been the kid version as well. Because, I mean, Studio Period takes a pretty good habit, I would say, of following the manga for source material. But yeah, basically it starts off with Shin and Sasuke clashing. And, your boy Shin got up and he was just like, yeah, I'm good. But he proceeded to attack Sasuke again and got his ass Raikiri. So, he got up off the ground after that and was like, nah, fuck this nigga too strong, we gotta dip. So he left. Then it cuts to a frame of Sarada basically remembering what she's been talking to her mom about and what she's been talking to Chocho about, on basically everything about Sasuke. Is that her dad or not, or is Sakura even her mom at this point, because nobody's telling her anything, so she's kind of left up to her own imagination. But she's in the process of basically going on this journey to go find Sasuke. And then it cuts to Naruto and Shikamaru talking or whatever, basically, discussing how they're talking about headbands and stuff and how many they'll order, and little fun Hokage stuff. And eventually it gets to the point where they start talking about Shin, and Naruto calls Kakashi and tells him about it. Kakashi's like, oh, Sharingan, huh? Well, two things. It's impossible that this person is a Uchiha survivor, but they could be, even though it's impossible. Or two, he's connected to an Uchiha survivor. So Kakashi, he was fairly confused himself, as well as Naruto. That's of course why he called. But right now, the mystery was being basically held up in this episode is that nobody knows who the fuck Shin is. Dude says he's an Uchiha and just he's just there. Nobody knows what type of Uchiha. Nobody knows how the hell he survived the clan massacre. Nobody knows this guy, and we was only led to believe that Sasuke and Sarada were the only survivors. So it cuts to Shin and this dude in the cloak basically speaking, and he's just like, so you met Sasuke? Yeah, I met Sasuke. He was strong as fuck. Beat my ass. The hell? He's like, yeah, he did. I kind of figured. And that wasn't even his true power, so, be on your guard next time. And he's just like, but though, he killed Itachi, so he gotta die. He killed another Uchiha. We don't do that around here. So, the baby, the little Shin or whatever, was just like, alright, bet, I got you, fam. Next time we meet him. So Sarada eventually gets to the Hokage's office. Yeah, Hokage's office. The Oval Office, I guess. She gets to the Hokage's office to basically go and I guess speak to him about Sasuke, to find his whereabouts. But they end up talking about basically going to meet Sasuke. Well, at least Naruto. He was talking to Shikamaru about going to meet Sasuke. So she overheard it and hid and was just like, well, shit, I just follow his ass. I know he know where he at. So it gets to the point to where she basically gets ready and goes to the Hidden Leaf Gate, and Chocho shows up. And she's just like, oh, you ready for a journey? And show all her limited edition chips and whatnot. So it looks like everybody's ready to go. Chocho's ready, Sarada's ready. And before they know it, the 7th Hokage blitzes and pulls off quickly. And Sarada tries to pull Chocho, and Chocho being who Chocho is, with the weight and all that good stuff, ends up falling. She's like, hey, I wasn't ready for this. This ain't PE class. What you doing? And Boruto shows up with a box of lunch along with Mitsuki, and he looks a little bit upset. And before Naruto left, he was just like, tell Boruto I'm sorry. So what he was referring to is because Boruto had his box lunch and didn't make it in time. So, you know, Boruto being a little, kind of little brat that he is, basically, well, not even a brat. He got upset because, I mean, his mom made a box of lunch for him and he was to deliver it. So, you know, for him to not be able to deliver that to his dad when they're kind of getting on good terms, kind of a letdown. So as he's going back into the village or whatever, after talking to Shikamaru, Sarada's just like, okay, shit, this is my window. Not only that, I can help Boruto out because, I mean, that's a special made box lunch from his mom, from Hinata, so he deserves to get that. So after Sarada basically, you know, tries to use some, like, well, not legit mind genjutsu, but like she basically wanted to see her dad, so she had to talk Boruto into giving her the lunch. Like she really had to make this a point, like give a point across, as if she's like auditioning for her speech to become the Hokage. Like, never seen a speech that powerful on a box lunch. Like, she's just like, I swear I'll get it to him. Like, it's not the box lunch that's important, it's the person who made the box lunch important. And I'm just like, bruh, pretty sure my homie Naruto would be straight without a box lunch. Like, I'm pretty sure Hinata understands. But, you know, she's trying to meet her dad, so she basically had to do anything and, you know, actually project her feelings into this. Which what she said was true. It does show great character development, because so far her character has been a little like misconstrued as just like this little cocky little Uchiha, basically. Stereotype of Uchiha, where they're just the cocky, arrogant, you know, have their noses up at everybody and everything. So there was definitely some character development there. So they was being spied on by Shin as they were leaving the village, Chocho and Sarada. And the dude in the cloak just like, shit, I bet we gonna kidnap her. So, well, dang. They just got out the village and they already getting plotted on. So as they're running or whatever, Chocho gets tired and your boy Shin show up. He's like, what's up, guys? Sarada, yo, you coming with me? You know, Sarada being, you know, the badass that she is, she's like, what if I don't? Like, well, we ain't gonna talk about that, because you coming with me. So Sarada and Shin basically start going at it. My boy Shin basically summons a Fuma Shuriken out of a scroll, like with the chain attached to it, and throws it. But here's the thing, like with Sarada being Uchiha, like just her reactions alone when she jumped over the Fuma Shuriken chain and like landed on it to basically immobilize Shin's weapon, it's already understood that she can, like, her intelligence is high, her agility is high, and just overall her combat skills are high for her age. But when Chocho slid behind my boy Shin and hit the partial expansion jutsu as quick as she did, like, I was like, damn, Chocho, I was not expecting that. Like, not only did that show character development, but that also showed that Chocho, don't let that weight fool you, because she slid behind Shin. Shin is an extraordinary Uchiha for his age, because they do look like he's around the same age as Sarada. Like, he's an extraordinary fighter. So for him to, like, even get somewhat surprised by Chocho sliding behind him like that, props to Chocho. Props to Chocho. But as it goes on, Chocho eventually gets trapped by the chain after Shin starts to counter her. And as she was like looking at death in the face, because, you know, my boy Shin was about to, you know, hit her with that Fuma Shuriken one good time, Naruto shows up, you know, the GOAT, if you will. He shows up and basically starts to battle Shin, and then Shin basically unlocks his Mangekyo Sharingan. And the Fuma Shuriken that he had comes apart into like 8 pieces, and he throws them into the back of Naruto, I guess trying to surprise attack him. So Naruto goes KCM. Like, yeah, legit KCM. and basically blocks all of them and tries to catch Shin, but to no avail, because eventually the guy in the cloak sent like this little, I guess you, Zetsu-esque Sharingan wielding thing that can apparently use Kamui, and they left. So Naruto basically, you know, talks to Chocho and talks to Sarada, and like, hey, why are you here? Basically, I'm bringing you this box lunch, and I also want to meet my dad. So Sarada and Chocho get taken along with Naruto, and he kind of remembers when Sasuke and Sakura was giving him his box lunch. It's like, yeah, this is pretty important. I should probably do whatever. So I mean, it gave some sentimental value to the episode, because all that great nostalgia. So Naruto's just like, well, I'm just gonna tell you about your dad. Well, hold on, step back a little bit. Sarada, Chocho, and Naruto just kind of sat down like in like a grassy area after a little bit of travel, and Sarada basically was just kind of sitting quiet. So Naruto was just like, well, I'll let you in on some secrets. He was like, he was always popular with the Kunoichi at the academy, just like me. He was quite handsome, just like me. And he was always top of his class in ninjutsu, just like me. And, you know, Chocho was just like, is there only one top scorer? But I guess Sarada got the gist of it, because she started smiling like, yeah, they were probably like rivals, but you know, Naruto was probably like the very, very stupid one or something. Not even stupid, just the underachiever. So, but she caught the drift and the value of what Naruto was saying, and then he was just like, he's arrogant, rude, and antisocial. And then Sarada put her head down with like, dang, bro, you had to go on my dad like that. But he's just like, he's my rival, even to this day. So, with that being said, Sarada kind of got a gist of what her dad actually is, as well as what she strives to become, and why she strives to become Hokage. So, as they're running and traveling to go meet up with Sasuke, they get like really close to the tower, like really close, like probably a couple of feet away. And Chocho gets tired, so they all sit down and take a rest. And Sarada's just like, well, I gotta go tinkle. And Naruto's like, don't stray too far. So as she's running there, she starts remembering like her one memory with her dad, like of hugging her dad. And she ends up, you know, unlocking the Sharingan through that, because she's so happy to see her dad. Like, she's like crying and whatnot. So she unlocks her Sharingan, and she finally gets to the tower, goes in or whatever, you know, takes a little breath, and as she turns around, she sees, you know, the GOAT, Sasuke Uchiha, her dad, and, you know, homie pull out a blade, and then the episode just ends. Yeah, that's how it ends. Sasuke's holding a blade to his daughter's neck, and just like, hey, how would you find me? I'm actually surprised you found me. Are you one of them? So basically, overall, I mean, I give this episode an 8 out of 10. Wasn't the best. No, I'm just kidding. This was the fucking best episode I've seen in a while. The animation on point. The glow effects, loved it when the Sharingan basically was shown. Like, the glow effect had that meaning. It had that power. So I definitely enjoyed that piece, as well as seeing Shin in combat. Because in the manga, he's pretty good, but I mean, when it comes to Studio Period's combat, like, they don't provide that same that same impact always, but this time they did. Like, it actually made somewhat of a actual feel towards Sarada's combat mechanics, not mechanics, Sarada's combat basically vibe versus Naruto's. Like, when Sarada was basically fighting, she was kind of fighting for her life in a sense. Like, one bad move and, you know, it's a done deal, you're kidnapped. Versus Naruto, he's just chilling, just like, oh, well, this ain't shit. Yeah, Shin, we gotta kidnap you though. Like, we got some questions to ask you. So I like the overall vibe and the overall tone of the episode, as far as the animation went. Storytelling, of course, on point. Is all coming from the manga, so it's all familiarity. So they're definitely keeping to their guns when it comes to getting what they need from the manga. But overall, this episode, like I said, 8 out of 10. Definitely definitely, if you have not picked up the Boruto series yet, definitely pick it up now, because it only goes up from here. Because I've caught up with the manga, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I definitely encourage you guys to pick it up here. But with that being said, let me know how you feel in the comments, and your boy is out. Peace.